Speaking of the sort of taxpayers' dollars and stuff, one of the things Rob Ford has always said he's done is eliminate waste. And that's something you want to do as well. How would you save taxpayers more dollars?
Well, Todd, I'll tell you, and again, people listening anywhere can identify with this because unfortunately it's true of governments everywhere. They have, I'll give you one tiny example. I mean, they have in the city government a real estate department in the police office, the parking authority, the city hall itself. I'm trying to think of all of it, but there's like 5 or 6 real estate offices that kind of manage, buy, sell, rent, and look after real estate. Why do you need 6 of those that are all paid for by the taxpayers? We've seen this week, we have some big civic projects, the Sony Center, the Peter Street homeless shelter, and they go massively over budget. Like every time, it's predictable. You could set your watch by it and say, well, they're going to come in and report to you they spent $25 million that wasn't in the budget. I'm a businessman. I'm going to go in there and make sure that doesn't happen anymore, even if it means somebody has to lose their job. Because in the end, we can't go on this way. And look at the number of middle managers there are in there. The buildings are full of people who, as I say, sort of meet with each other. And they're good people. They're not bad people, but we can't afford to keep paying. It's not frontline people cleaning up the parks or doing those things. It's managers who are writing memos telling people how to clean up parks. I think most of the people who clean up the parks know what they're doing. They don't need a lot of managers to write the memos. So I think there's huge amounts to be saved over there, and I intend to do that so that we can have that money to help kids who don't get a proper breakfast, or to help with after-school programs for kids in troubled neighborhoods, or to build transit. So that's what I want to do.
Couple things. One, you're a very altruistic human being, so I wanted to just congratulate you on always being out there in the public and always making sure that charities are taken care of. And I know even personally you've helped out with one of my mother's own charities, and I think that's a great thing. Putting you put a face to John Tory. You get out there, you humanize yourself. You say you are a businessman. Of course, you were the CEO of Rogers in the day. You were the CFL commissioner. You're a guy that's really taken after some massive corporations, and it's kind of neat to bring that into the city, much like a Bloomberg did in New York or something. But one of the fears, too, is that a guy like John Tory doesn't sometimes relate to the average Todd Shapiro Show listener. I mean, you listen, you got perfect hair, you dress very well, and sometimes, have you shown your vulnerable side? And is that maybe a strategy you could have where, show yourself screwing up a little bit? Because you seem so perfect to the average guy. It might be neat. Now, obviously, we don't want you doing...
Speak to my wife, and she'll confirm that I'm far from... Or my kids.
We should make her your campaign manager.
Or my grandchildren, for that matter. They'll all confirm that I'm not... No, look, I mean, you know what, Todd? I think that what the problem in politics today is people trying to be something they're not. I'm not perfect, and I'm not, my hair is my hair, and all the rest of it. And at the end of the day, I think what people want to be looking for, I believe, is a leader who's going to lead the city effectively, is that the city can be proud of that leader, that the city can be proud of itself, that it's going to get some transit built, that leader, that it's going to create, and attract some jobs to the city. I mean, isn't that what people should be looking for? And this notion that I can turn myself into something I'm not, I don't buy into it, because I think if you're trying to be something you're not, and, look, I can have fun. I mean, in days gone by, in previous incarnations, I've had lots of fun with you on the radio. I can do that, and if that's what's called for, that's fine. But I'm not going to try and turn myself into something I'm not, because I think people are tired of phonies in politics, and I am who I am. And the people will either elect me or they won't. I hope they will, because I think that I can produce that livable, affordable, functional city, get the jobs, keep the taxes down, build the transit, most importantly. I mean, people living all over the world listening to you and to this show, I mean, if they came here from anywhere, they'd say our public transportation is crappy compared to every other major city. And we've got to fix that, and I can fix it through determination and skill and willpower, and dealing with the other governments to make sure they give us the money to do what we have to do to build proper transit here.